I'm going to state the obvious. Being a mom is hard. That's something we hear all the time and we know it's true, etc. One of the reasons why I think it's hard though is because we are constantly comparing ourselves to other moms or to other people and to other families. There's about 5 tips I want to share with you that have helped me stop comparing myself to others. Number 1, everybody has different capacities. Capacity meaning the amount of stuff you can accomplish and do with your current ability. There's a popular saying that goes, everybody has the same 24 hours. I'm here to tell you, no, they do not. I can tell you that you probably don't have the same 24 hours as somebody like Beyonce or Taylor Swift. They're probably not doing their own laundry, making their own meals, doing school pickup and drop off while working a traditional job or running a household. Just like how a financially struggling single mom doesn't have the same 24 hours as a stay-at-home mom who is financially supported or a working mom who has dual income. In fact, all 3 of those people have very different day-to-days that affect their energy levels, patience, their mental capacity, and just actual time to do things. And then combine that with whether or not those 3 people have support from their family or partners when it comes to raising kids. And this is an important reminder because if you're in a phase right now where you are just struggling to do everyday tasks and you're like trying to find some deep power within to do more and you just can't, and you're comparing yourself to somebody that seems like a super mom, just remember that it's 100% likely that they just have more capacity than you do at the moment. And it's not mutually exclusive. Just because they're able to do all these other extra things doesn't make you a bad parent. It just means that you are doing the best you can with what you got, just like they are. If you want a real life example, I'm not in a place where I can wake up at like 6 a.m. and get like a full-on hot breakfast meal on the table. I have a friend who is able to get a full-on breakfast buffet ready for her kids almost every other day. That's wonderful. She's wonderful. But I don't compare myself to her because I know that she has a different schedule and a different life than mine. The best I can do is get some toast and some oatmeal going, assuming my kid will eat. And all I'm just focused on is that and whether or not he's happy, healthy, and thriving. Again, it's a reminder that everybody has different capacities. Number 2, unfollow social media moms. I mean it. This is the most insidious way comparison will creep up on you every day, all day. I don't follow a lot of social media moms or family accounts. And if I do, they just kind of happen to be a parent. Their main brand and content is basically focused on something else, like cooking and recipes or home restoration. I like to fill my feed with things that I was interested in before I was a parent to help remind me that, I'm a person with interest, with goals, with accomplishments. Mainly, I just like to keep my feed lighthearted and interesting. I don't want to constantly be comparing myself to like social media families. Clear out your feed. Unfollow social media moms. Number 3, ask yourself if your kid is happy, healthy, and thriving. Use those as your guide markers. It's wonderful when you see happy families. Like, who doesn't love that? But I don't use them as a benchmark for my own family because each family is different. I care about whether or not my own kid is happy, healthy, and thriving. And luckily, there's many ways to achieve that. An example, so we're not like a traveling family. We don't go to all these like wonderful countries or camping often. But we like going out on the weekends. We like checking out local playgrounds because he likes wood chips and going down the slide. We like checking out new brunch spots as he people watches. And that's enough for me. That's enough for us. He's happy, healthy, and thriving with that type of quality time. So look inward towards your own family and their happiness and use that as a guide marker, not somebody else's. Number 4, focus inward on your own family. This is something that I accidentally noticed. The reason why I don't compare myself a lot to other moms or other families is because a lot of my time and energy is spent and given towards my son and my husband. And then whatever time and energy I have left goes towards work. And then whatever tiny amount I have left maybe goes towards me. So if you find your mind wandering and you start comparing yourself to others again, just refocus your mind back on your family. And lastly, number 5, set a good example for your kids. They model your behavior and emotions. This is the one I think about the most. It's always top of mind. So one of the many reasons why I love my husband and how I knew he would be a good father and a good life partner is because of how sure he is of himself. He doesn't really compare himself to others, and he's always satisfied with what he has. And he's just in general not really worried about what other people do. And because he's modeled that type of behavior, I see the same self-assuredness and confidence in our own child. Growing up, I had parents that seemed like they envied other people or things. And then they would make backhanded comments or compare themselves to others. In return, I never felt like I or our family was enough for them. And in a lot of ways, I have my own insecurities that were passed down by them because my parents never quite figured out how to be confident in themselves. And after many years of therapy and self-help books, it's true when they say that we are the byproducts of our upbringing. So I would like to gently remind you to set a good example for your kids and stop comparing yourself to others. Whether you say certain things out loud or not, they pick up on that behavior and emotion. Instead, model self-assuredness and confidence for them. And when you find yourself struggling and starting to compare, hopefully you can look back to some of these tips to help you. As always, I'm not a professional and I'm not a guru. I'm just a person like you wanting to share tips that help me stop comparing myself to others with you. Thanks for watching.